Castleman here with Hickman Realty. I'm going to do a video about reports, how to share them and print them. I'm going to try to get through this kind of quick. So I'm going to start here on my dashboard, and you can do this from a quick search if you want to search something, and just like somebody calls in, you search for some parameters. Just to make this quicker, I'm going to grab something that I've already saved a search for. Because it's a manageable list. So I've searched for homes under $600,000 that were at least 4 bedroom, 3 bath, in a certain set of neighborhoods, Wrights Mill, Wind Chase. So pretty simple. I can go back to the map. I can, we've looked at this before. I can see where they are on the map. I can look down through here and see which ones they are. But in this, I've decided I'm going to go back to the list. Let's just say I'm going to select them all, and I'm going to get rid of, let's say they've seen Darlington and Stornoway and Brewington. I'm just making selections here. So I'm going to get the list down to a tighter list. So I've got 7 here, and I've decided this is the 7 that I want to either print to hand somebody, or I want to print for myself to take out on listings, or I want to email. So what we're going to do is let's first look at reports. So I'm going to, as an agent, I'm clicking on detail, and I've got my 55 Single Oak or my 16 Grovemont, whatever I'm clicked on over here, I'm going to see the report. And this is this is an agent detail report, right? This is what we normally print out and we take out into the field. It's got all of our little bits of information. First of all, I can select public or private. If I want to print this off, I can take off private remarks and some of the things that a client might not need to see. And also, look, it puts a signature on it, right? So now if I'm out showing, I hand them this piece of paper, and now they've got something that's got my information on it. Go back to private. It's got all the details and doesn't have my signature on it or my information. So let's look at the other reports. So this is 2 per page, 4 per page. In other words, if you're printing these out and you want to put multiples on one sheet of paper, pretty self-explanatory. If I selected all 7 and I select 4 per page and I click print, I'm going to get 2 pages because it's 4 per page and I've got 7. This is the CTN report. That's Central West Tennessee report. This is our main detail normal agent report. Here's one they call IDX report. It's basically the same thing. It's just got a little bit less detail and more pictures. Of course, if you're printing this, it just depends on what you're doing. That burns up a lot of printer. I might email that before I print it. If I'm going to print, though, and I want it to look good, I've got flyers, and you can modify these flyers. That's going to be up in menu under preferences. I think it's under my reports. Okay, so let's just see what they are by default. I want to hand this to somebody. I click on what is this one? CTN1. Basically, it dresses it up. It looks a little bit nicer. It's got my information. It's got a little header bar, and it's got some of the main bullet points that you might need to share. You can, again, modify this. You can select what you want in this details and just rename it or save it still as the same report. If you want to put garage total in here, it's got garage space here, but maybe you want it down here by the beds and baths. You can actually modify that in my reports. This is the photo 5, which, as you might expect, it's got 5 pictures. So got some information with some nice pictures here. The remarks look like at the bottom on this one. So these are just different ways they look. You can decide which one you like. Maybe you just modify one of them to give it the look that you want. You can even change color schemes and everything on these. One line flyer, I have no idea what that would be for. It doesn't give me enough information. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. So we're going to go back to the normal agent detail or CTN report. So I'm looking at 7 images or 7 listings. I'm looking at the report. Now I want to come up here. This is where you're going to, so this is where you're looking at data. This is where you're going to start, think about sharing data. You're going to send it various ways, Facebook, email, text, Twitter. Obviously, if you're going to put it on Facebook, please mark it for the public remarks, not the private remarks. Here is just an email. It's a little bit more in detail about the email system and how it works. We're going to click return back to the search, right back where we were. This is save. Let's just say I haven't saved this. I did this report for, let's say, John Smith, and I go, you know what, I'm going to save this. John Smith, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Well, this is where you would click, and you would click save, and you would name it. I already saved it, and this is the name that I gave it. But anyway, and this is print. So I do want to print this for John Smith. I click print, and this gives me all of my different options. What in the world do I want to print? I don't know why that didn't load. Let's just change some stuff here. Oh well. It's still going to print. So listings to print. Let's start right here. I can choose the original 11. I can choose the 7 that I selected, or I can choose the one that I was on, okay, which was 55 Single Oak. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to hit print, and that's 55 Single Oak. That's the 7. So I've decided I want to print the 7 that I selected. And hey, this is for me, right? No, this is for public. I'm going to send it to them or print it for them to walk out with. I can click detail, and it's going to ask me which report do I want to give them. We just looked at those reports. I told you if I click 4 per page, it's going to print out 4 per page, 7 listings. We're going to end up with 2 pages. All right. I can come down here and select other things that I want to print. Again, when you're printing, you probably don't want to print maps and photos. It's just going to burn up your printer cartridge. But if you want it, you can. But I'm going to click preview before I click print. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this will be the second page. 1, 2, 3. So there's my 7 listings, and it's just the main bullet points of each one and the price. Click print. That's what it's going to print out. 2 pieces of paper that look like that. If I choose 2 per page and pick preview, they're just going to be bigger. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. The CTN, we know what that looks like. That's kind of our main all fields report. But remember, I was selecting public, okay? Public. So it's going to say public report. Let's just say I don't want to send them all of this information. I really just want to send them the list. Well, I can actually send them both. It's checkmark detail, but I can check mark list also. And I can choose which view I want to send them. I like the view I created for myself. In other words, the columns that I like. So it's already defaulted to that. I can even change the font size. I don't know what the title would be for. So I'm going to preview that. And I'm on the CTN. I'm going to hit preview. I got 7 listings. So at the top, here is my normal list view, and it's formatted in my view that I created. And underneath that, I've got each of the CTN reports. And again, this is still the public data. So I can print this and I can hand this out. Maybe I print it and I take this piece of paper and use it for my showings, and then I hand the client these pieces of paper as we are in the house. There's lots of different ways to do this. Remember, this is just printing out paper. Who knows? Everybody wants to do these things differently. But let's just do this. I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to unmark the list and the detail. Um, Actually, I'm going to remark list, and I want the private. Okay, now look at what it says. Are you sure you want private? Because it just wants to make sure that you're not about to print this for somebody that's a client. I'm going to dismiss that, and I'm going to click. The only thing I've got is the list. I don't have details selected. I'm going to click preview. There is all of the private remarks. There's really no remarks in the list, but the private data that might not be in the public format. I print this out and take this for showings. Let's just say I want the details to go with it. And again, this is for me. It's private. I've got the spreadsheet at the top, and then I've got the full agent detail report with all of the private remarks and everything that I need to conduct this showing. So that's a quick summary of how to do this. Now, let's just say you're like, wow, this is too much. I really just want to print. I really just want to print 8 Mossy Oak Trail. Okay, well, just go up here to print. I'm on that listing. I click print, and I just go, I want to print the current listing. And I want to print this for a customer. I want to print this for myself to go out on a showing. I click private. Yes, I dismiss that. I'm going to preview it. And there it is. I just printed that actual page with all the goodies. Or I can print the public version, or maybe I do both. I print one for me, and then I print this public one for the customer. So you've got a lot of different options with print. I'm going to go back to my search results. Still dealing with 7 listings. Remember, I haven't lost my original 11. Go back to list. There's my 11. Here's my 7. And I've decided I want to share this. I've got them marked. I'm going to click share. First thing it asks me is, what are we sharing? The current listing. That's the one in blue. Look below. 55 Single Oak Cove is the one that I was viewing last. It's in blue. Or I can say, no, I want all selected ones, which will be all 7 of these. Okay. How do I want to share this? I want to text it. Facebook, email. I don't even think this email works, actually. I think you've got to use this email. But I like permalink. I think text would do it, but when you do text, you have to actually select a contact that you have set up in your system. My wife's set up in there, so I can click that and I can share by text. Done. I just sent her 7 listings. Now she's going to be texting me like, what are we doing, Alan? Are we buying a new house? Because she didn't know I was going to do that. But let's just say it's somebody that you don't have in your system. You haven't saved them and put them in your contact manager, which is a lot of times the way most people work, I believe. You can click share and you can go permalink. Well, if you do permalink, you can simply copy, Command C, Control C, or right click. And now you can take that and you can go up and you can email that to somebody from your browser, from your Gmail or whatever you use. Or if you have a Mac, you can text from the Mac. You can actually just text it straight to somebody using your Messenger. Okay. So this link will send this to somebody, exactly this list. Okay. So that's one way of sharing. Got to get that out there. And then the last thing, we've talked about print. I want to print this list or each page in a brochure. I want to share it. Pretty much you're going to do text or permalink on this, I believe. But no, I want to email this and I want to email it from Flex. Now this is a little more involved. I'm going to click email. I can just email them basically these PDF sheets, okay? Or I can send them the interactive version. I would highly recommend that you play around with the interactive version. It just looks so much better. It looks so much more professional. You do have to have them set up in your system. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I've got a contact of myself set up in there. I'm going to click on the full interactive version. This is who it's going to come from. Of course, you can save different emails if you want it to come from different sources. This is where you can add a new contact. That's real simple. Put a name, email address, phone number in there and save them. I've already got myself in here. I've got a personal email address and I just put Alan Castle so I know it's mine. And I can send it to multiples. If I wanted to send this to Heather also, which I will, look at that. She's in there too. Now I've got 2 people this is going to. I can even manually enter somebody else's email address in here if I want it to go to them as well. All right. I can send me a copy of this so I know what the client has seen when they get it. Of course, since I'm sending it to myself, I'm already going to see it, but you wouldn't in the normal situation, so you could check that box. You can even get a notification of when they've viewed the page, which is really nice. That's why the interactive part is so important. It keeps you connected. How do you want to send this email? You can choose your own email application. You can just get a link to email them from your email server. Or what I recommend, if you want it to be truly interactive, use Flex MLS. It defaults to that. And there is a little info button here. You just run your mouse over and it'll tell you about it. Okay, so I've got who I want to send it to, and I also get to choose again, what am I sending? I'm going to send the selected or the original 11, or I'm just going to send the one that I was looking at last, which happened to be, I think, the single oak. I can choose public or private. If I do public, private, it's going to warn me again. And I can send documents. So I think that's cool. No reason you shouldn't send documents. Somebody might be interested in looking at the property condition disclosure. So yes, I want to see documents, or I want them to see documents. And if there's any open houses, or I can turn that on or off. So you've got a couple of selections here. Who I want it to go to. I want it to go using the Flex MLS email client. And then the last thing is, what's your subject going to be? You can save templates. That's a whole different lesson. It's not really hard, but I'm gonna use what I normally do, and that's the more new homes. I can change that and say to review, and then you can see my body here, the message: new homes that have hit the market for your criteria. Please check them out. Let me know your thoughts. And then you can select the signature to be on the bottom or not. Okay. There are multiple signatures, by the way. You can decide which one you want. It's up to you. All right, I'm done though. I want 7 with documents in the public version to go to these 2 people, and I click email. I'm done. I can send another email. I can go back to the search results. We still have never lost where we were. We have printed. We have shared a couple of different ways. And of course, I can save this, like I said, to John Smith's 4-bedroom, 3-bath. I want to switch over though and show you what it looks like when it comes in. There it is, Alan Castleman, more new homes to review. This is what it looks like. New homes hit the market for your criteria. Please check them out. So again, you can make that as custom as you want. You can save that so you don't have to rewrite it every time. Follow this link. It's got my signature. I'm going to click on it. This is what your client gets. This is way better than just sending them a PDF, because this is an interactive listing. If they click on it, they get everything. Okay? They get description, they get location, they get listing detail. They can select ones that they like. See, just like you do in the normal system, 7 total, they've selected 2. They can actually come up here and see it in list form. They can see it in full details form. They can just view them on the map. What else can they do? They can print. So it really is a very nice looking presentation. And what's great about it is, let's just say they're looking at this and they go, oh man, this is great. This is exactly what I've been looking for. Look at the bottom. They can share, they can save it, they can request a showing. It'll come back to you contact agent, go straight to the agent. So it looks like it's branded. It is. It's branded to you. So no one else is going to get this lead or get this showing from you. This customer now is going to say, I want to see this. I'll click the request a showing, and it's the same thing, right? I'm interested in a viewing. It's just going to word that a little differently. Under more information, I believe I was looking for the last thing, documents right there. Okay. It didn't, huh. I'll have to check into that. I thought that it would actually let you see the documents. It should let you see the documents. I may have to check into that one. But anyway, great system, looks great, very professional, and you have a full record of it and you can interact with them. I love how the little pop-ups, they can pull up here. They can look at them. They hover over it, it comes up. They can mark this as a favorite. It's a really neat system. So that is Flex, reports, sharing, and printing.